an enthusiastic welcome to Coach John Gimber. Come on out. Coach John.
Do you want me to raise this, or can you hear me?
Raise it.
Better?
Yeah.
All right, I've got a question to start you guys off with. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received? I'll let you think about that for a while I introduce myself and tell you a little bit about how I got here and how I got involved with Bridge. My name is John Gimber, as Mike said. I'm originally from Glen Ridge, New Jersey, and I've been playing lacrosse since I was about 8 years old. And this past season, I was the coach of the Bridge Eagles 7th and 8th grade team, and had an unbelievable, outstanding time with working with the kids and helping out. So my journey to becoming involved in Bridge actually started, oddly enough, in an auditorium in Washington, D.C. So I'll paint the scene for you a little bit and kind of walk you through how I got to Dallas. So I'm in a room with about 100, maybe 150 young men and women. They all have an envelope, and in that envelope it tells them where they're going to move in the next 2 months. They've gone through a long, grueling process to get to this point. They've put all this hard work, all this effort into getting to this day, and they have a piece of paper that's telling them what they have to do next. My beautiful fiance Haley was one of these young men and women, and what I'm trying to describe to you is what's called match day. That's when medical students find out where they're going to go do their residency. So we're in this room. It's me, Haley, her parents. There's this old, funny, bald guy on the stage of this auditorium telling jokes, trying to loosen up the mood, but it is as tense as you can imagine. I've never been in a room where you can feel that much emotion and that much stress, that much just feeling of not knowing what all these young adults are about to do. So at noon, everyone on the East Coast that is a medical student, at fourth year medical student, opens up their card and they all know where they're going. So this guy starts counting down from 10, 9, he gets down to 1, Haley opens the envelope, and you guys know what it says. It says UT Southwestern, Dallas, Texas. Yeah, so that brought us to Dallas. My first reaction was, everybody's reaction. Everybody from New Jersey's reaction: hat, boots, big hair, everything in Dallas from whatever 20 years ago. Cowboys fans everywhere. Gross. Just kidding. But go Giants. So fast forward 2 months from match day. Haley and I and her dad are in a U-Haul towing an SUV, driving from DC to Dallas. 1,400 miles, no rest, no stops. We got gas, we got food, we went to the bathroom, but then it was back in the truck. So we got here, and I thought, I'm working from home with my same company in Washington, D.C. I have very little human-to-human contact during the day, which is strange. Not my favorite aspect of working from home. And I thought, what am I going to do here? How do I get involved? How do I get outside? How do I get working with people, getting involved in the community? How am I going to fit in here? So after all that, the short version of how I ended up with Bridge was I Google searched it. So I Googled volunteer lacrosse coaching opportunities, and Bridge was one of the first links. I clicked it. I met up with David, actually right against that wall. We had a coffee last summer. yeah, and I started coaching in the fall clinics. I loved it, and I got involved with the 7th and 8th grade team. And I feel like going out and finding this opportunity was really one of the best experiences I've had in my life. I absolutely loved it. I can say with 100% certainty that coaching with this organization and with these kids made me a better person, made me a better version of myself, and I couldn't be happier that I got involved. So that's how I got involved. What I wanted to talk more with you about with you today is that question. So I hope you all thought of something. I have two pieces of advice that I sort of have kept with me since I heard them. And I wanted to just kind of touch on each of them briefly and talk about how I kind of related that to coaching and how what I wanted to teach the student athletes throughout this season. So the first one is simple. It's I was in a meeting with a professor in college, and he could tell that I wasn't 100% into it. I don't know if I yawned or rolled my eyes or did something that a 19-year-old kid does in college, but he stopped the conversation and he sat me down and gave me a little speech, and he said, you have to love what you do. It doesn't have to be what I'm teaching you right now, but I hope you find something that you love doing. For me, it's architecture. For my son, it's hockey. You have to have something that you love to do. So I think I'm really lucky to know that I love what I do every day at work, and I think I'm lucky too to have found something that I can be involved in a few days a week that I love doing. So that's the first thing, is just love what you do, and go out there and find something that you love doing if you're not there yet, because I certainly had no idea what I wanted to do when I was in college, and I kept looking, and I got lucky. So I would encourage you to try to do the same. The second piece of advice is something I can relate a little bit more to mental toughness, and it's something that I sort of rephrased but used a lot with the student athletes. And the second piece is from a speaker that came to talk to my senior class awards dinner, whatever it was, and he was a little bit of he was an alumnus of the school, but he was a little bit less polished, I'd say, than everybody else that the school usually brings back to talk. He was a producer of the show Deadliest Catch. So I don't know if you remember that show. So his job was to go out on these Alaskan crabbing boats with these rugged men, we'll say. So he kind of took us through that whole experience. And he's seen some stuff, so I'll leave it at that. But his last point was, complacency will kill you. And I kind of, it like jolted me a little bit. And I didn't really know what he meant, and I kind of thought about it for a while, and I've tried to relate it to other things in my life since then. I think what complacency is really the idea of, or the thought that you're good enough, or that you're done, or that you are no longer striving to become better. So when David told us that the theme of this season was going to be mental toughness, I sort of immediately thought that I want my lesson to these student athletes to be get better every day. If today's your first day of lacrosse, there's obviously something you can do to get better. If today is the start of your 6th season, there's obviously something you can do to get better. So every day, day in and day out, I wanted these kids to find something that they could get better at. The idea that I'll leave you with that I think is the coolest part about coaching And I think teachers and probably parents, I don't know, feel this as well. But the idea of sort of painting a picture of a long-term goal for a student or for a student athlete or for a kid, and helping them piece together short-term goals every day to kind of put everything together and get to that long-term goal. I think what we try to do, Chris and I were the coaches of the Eagles this year, is really piece together those little things in lacrosse, so throwing, catching, communication, everything, and kind of piece that together and help the kids realize a long-term goal of becoming a better lacrosse player. So with that, I will, I guess I'll urge you to share your best piece of advice with somebody else, with your friends, with your family. And if you can, give some of your time to a cause or something that you really love, because it's really made me a better person, and I think it will do the same for you.